step, no. Jackie Chan, no travel. Can't clean it with the beat. Dripping from the. No, not me. I can never be the one you want to stuff for. Money, that machine. They fell down my stove. RIP the times that I was broke. Acting like a 9/11 folks. Matte black, liquor clean. Dead presses in and I'm a local. Cooking up canard. Waiting for the antidote. Running out of time.
A good one to wrap up Thanksgiving night. It's the Coast. This is week 12 of the NFL on EA Sports. Tonight, after our yearly trips to Detroit and Dallas, this year we head down to New Orleans, where the crowd will be rocking as their Saints take on the Atlanta Falcons. I'll see you again at halftime. But first, we're off to the Superdome. Standing by to call all the action.
First opened back in 1975. There's a look inside the iconic Mercedes-Benz Superdome in downtown New Orleans. Tonight, it's the final morsel in our Thanksgiving feast, and we've got a good one in store between the Atlanta Falcons and the New Orleans Saints. Time to set the old turducken aside and get ready for football as here we go on a Thanksgiving night. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Rodgers now on first down. And this is a catch by Ted. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
That crossing route is so effective when you hit it just right because you get a guy on the move, and then we see the end result there.
It's a nightmare for the defense. They got a guy with a full head of steam.
Not only does he catch it, but he picks up additional yardage after it.
They'll look for the first time with Mark Ingram. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So, as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off of the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys that have a little extra pep in their step, you go to them early and often.
How about this for an opening drive decision? You got 4th and short, just outside of field goal range in all likelihood. What do you do?
I'm going for it. I've got to go get it right now. I want to establish a tone. It's early in the game. I want to let my offense know that I believe in them. And you know something else? I let my defense know I believe in them also by taking that gamble. If we don't get it, it's okay. You guys will cover for me.
These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers. Right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
Flex round! Flex round!
They go play action here on first down. Oh, he's going to air it out right away. And no, incomplete. Boy, they took a shot there on the first play, tried to start it out with a bang, but it's second down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. On second down, Kaiser again. And his throw is incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. On third down, Kaiser. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. A great return there of 22 yards. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the second and the third level. I don't care who you put on him, he's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe need some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
No gain at all on the play there, and that brings up fourth.
They dialed up the blitz on third down, and your worry as a defense that they can hit you with a big play in that situation. Instead, the blitz pays off, able to rally to the football and make the play.
He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Here comes the Falcon offense now as they get set to take over here. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games.
Oh, and this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked up by Marcus Williams. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
Well, look there at Ingram's numbers from a week ago. 21 carries, 54 yards, and a touchdown.
And now that he's playing a Thursday night game, short week, you know he spent a lot of time in the trainer's room in the cold tub trying to get his legs back for this game.
Rodgers to throw on second down. Wide open receiver complete. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
And this offensive unit should have a lot of juice coming off the big output that they had 1 week ago.
Nothing like confidence, is there? When you've played well the week before, you can't wait to get back on the field and do it again.
And able to work his way down to the 16. That second down run, a big help. The 7 yards leaves him with just a 3rd and 3 now.
And that was a good run. This was only one of 9 guys to go over 1,000 yards in 2017. And I think you can't let him run wild here.
What do you think, 100 yards, the measuring stick?
Always. That is the threshold. You want to keep him under that if you want to play good defense.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. So 2 first-quarter field goal attempts for him, and he's converted on both.
I like the positive right there. 2 for 2, got the points on the board. The negative side is they didn't score touchdowns. And, of course, going forward in this game, that's going to be the aim. And hopefully he'll be kicking extra points instead.
Deshaun Kaiser making his way out to the huddle. And he'll need to find a way to shrug off the opening drive, if you can even call it a drive. 1 play and an interception, so he's got to forget that.
I know that in today's football, we have a good number of coaches.
And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. Cameron Jordan in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year. Well, let's see here, Charles. He was sacked 6 times last week. Now a first-quarter sack. What's going on in his mind?
Well, he
he's thinking to himself, 5 offensive linemen. I got sacked 6 times last week. Let's start thinking about keeping extra people in. Tight end stays in. If I have a fullback or the running back, they stay in and help me block. Maybe not as many receivers in a pattern. Anything to try and slow down that pass rush.
And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive. That fell incomplete. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try and increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
Ingram again. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Up from his linebacker spot, Deion Jones making the play.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
To throw is Rodgers. To the sideline. Wow, what a catch. Doesn't get a lot out of it, but he is able to keep the feet in bounds. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
I know where we're headed on this. Terrific catch, gets his feet down, sets up a 4th down and short situation. I bet we're wondering, why didn't he get to the 1st down marker running his route? Am I correct?
You got to know where the marker is, right?
Got to figure it out. I know every receiver is taught that. Sometimes circumstances change it. At least they have an opportunity to make a decision with not much yardage to go.
So out come the Falcons now. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of 1st downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 1st downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
And he'll take this up to about the 7 or 8 yard line. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. On 2nd down, Freeman. And he's going to be taken down here at about the 10. Tackle is made by Cameron Jordan. The good run on 1st down followed up by a not-so-good run on 2nd down.
Now let's find out if they're going to stick with the run here on 3rd down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I say go with your best running play over your best blocker.
And he's going to have the 1st down as he's marked down just shy of the 20. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
I know the game's changed. A lot of people would say it's evolved. Look, I'm a little bit Neanderthal, okay? I love this. No exotic formations, no misdirection. Just line up and run the darn ball, pick up the 1st down. I love it.
Yeah, 3rd and short, that's what you're supposed to do. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Cameron Jordan in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
To throw, Kaiser. And he'll lay out and pull it in. What a diving catch there. He got 29 yards that time.
Well, there's simply no sense in wasting a great catch like that on a short gain. Get downfield like you just did there and use it up that way.
No dink and dunk.
Flex round! Flex round!
They'll run for the 1st time with Johnson. And he'll take this up over the 40 to about the 41. Craig Robertson in on the stop. 2nd down, Kaiser. Kaiser hit, and he lost the football. The Saints say they have it, and they do. He let one slip away last week as well, so now 2 fumbles lost in as many weeks.
Well, we were out at practice, and we watched him work And what did his quarterback coach talk about all week?
Being a two-hand monster.
And we looked at each other. Two-hand. Oh, I get it. Two-hand monster. Both hands on the football, taking care of it, putting it away so the ball doesn't get dropped.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Duke Riley in there to bring him down, and that is sack number 17 for him now on the year.
And that's their first sack of this game, but how about last week? 6 sacks, great coverage downfield, which helped that pass rush. They are really working in sync right now.
But they face a 2nd and long to start things out. So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. On 2nd down, Ingram. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Here's Rodgers to throw. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Thomas, the intended target.
Well, I tell you, Brandon, this ball's intercepted, but it is 3rd down. So the silver lining is that since this is so far down the field and there wasn't a big run back associated with it, really this kind of works like a punt. It's not an altogether bad result.
Following the interception, Kaiser. And Jones has it over the middle. And he showcases the spin, a pretty good gain before he's taken down. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion. Kaiser now on 2nd down. And he will find Ridley. That's complete. And it's a fumble. And this is picked up by the Saints. And they're going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. Charles, he lost a fumble last week as well, so now back-to-back weeks, maybe you expect that from your tailback, but not him.
You're exactly right, because you work a lot with your running backs about how they have to protect the ball in traffic, but downfield in open space, that's dangerous as well, because you may make someone miss, and their flailing hand can knock the ball away if you don't tuck it away.
He came out ready to play. That's 3 tackles for a loss, Charles. We're only in the 2nd quarter.
And that's problematic for the guys trying to run offense because that means he's got a pretty good idea of what they're doing and is actually beating them to the point of attack and making those plays. Might have to think about some misdirection or something to try and get him away from the ball.
He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Throwing is Rodgers. That's caught. It's Thomas. And he doesn't quite make it. They do stop him, but he gets it all the way down to the 1. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL?
And he fires one that's intercepted. It's Desmond Trufant. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Kaiser on 1st down. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
Now he's forced out left. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on.
Illegal forward pass. Offense.
So he was past the line of scrimmage when he threw it.
And as they say, that's a no-no. Got to be able to understand where you are on the field and not cross the line before throwing the ball downfield.
Facing the prospect of a punt from their own end zone, they need some cushion. Let's see what they can do on 3rd down. And it's complete. Hooper. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on 3rd down. Kaiser now to throw on 1st down. Man open, that's Kiki QT, complete. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. 10 more there and another first down. Here's Kaiser. And he's taken down here by the Saints. Justin Houston in there to drop him, and his great season continues. 13 sacks for him now on the year. Now a second down throw for Kaiser. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Cameron Jordan in there to get him, and that is sack number 15 for him on the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
So a tough spot for Kaiser. The sack, and now it's 3rd and long. From the gun, Kaiser. And finding the tight end, Hooper. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. It'll be a gain of 12, but it will also lead to 4th down. And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it. Now the confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it. We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
They'll run with Ingram here to begin the drive. And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
He'll let it fly in the direction again. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up 4th down.
A lot of contact there, but there was no way it appeared that he was going to get a flag on that one. Looking for it, but he wasn't going to get it. And as an ex-defensive back, you love it when they let you play and jostle downfield.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Taking it about the 36. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. They were forced to punt last time, and I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot, great opportunity to run your full playbook. They want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
11 yards for number 11. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And his throw here is incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
To throw is Kaiser. He's going to look deep down. And now another turnover as this one's intercepted. Picked off by Jonathan Cyprien. And this one will be brought back to the 22. They are in an interception mood on defense. Had 2 nice interceptions a week ago. Now 2 here in the first half.
Yeah, we call it ball hawking. And the only way to truly be good ball hawks is not guessing. It's not just simply anticipation. It's study and understanding what they like to do.
And Rodgers intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Keanu Neal. And they will finally run him down, but not until he brings this one all the way back down inside the 10-yard line. That's his 14th interception on the season, and that number 14 ties the NFL single-season record.
Held by Dick Night Train Lane.
Was that 1952?
52, more than a half century ago.
And he's with the Rams that season, and believe it or not, it was his rookie year.
3 yards is the gain that time, 2nd and goal. The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. They get it to him running left. And Johnson lost the football. It's loose, poked out.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Kaiser, 3rd and goal. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Well, Brandon, we see why it's a team game there, because there's a sigh of relief that they just released defensively. If he's able to get that one away, that's likely a touchdown. But instead, that pressure from the front got to him and forced the incompletion.
You're right. He had him open, just a split second too late on the release. Now, that's something of a pick-me-up. The offense certainly has struggled, but they do get the field goal before half to put 3 on the board.
Yeah, you don't want to be shut out, but let's face it, those 3 points, that's not going to solve all their problems either.
Mark Ingram now gears up to help lead this offense back out there. He's hoping to get it going. They're hoping to get him going, too. You know, he's about ready to pop one here in the 2nd quarter. He's hoping.
And his offensive line teammates, they want to get one of those, too, because they want to continue to run the football.
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. We haven't even escaped the first half, and he's already thrown 4 picks.
And Brandon, back in the good old days, probably back before you were born, if your starter threw 4 in the first half, he might throw 8 or more for the game because they weren't going to pull him out. But nowadays, the patience level isn't quite there. He's going to have to make some real adjustments, or the backup may see some time. It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We're back to New Orleans after this. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Calvin Ridley with his 16th touchdown of the year. And the Falcons are in for 6.
Great field position has to be one of the best friends an offense can have. When you don't have very far to go, you should cash it in with points.
Now here's Bryant to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. And last time wasn't pretty. 1 play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Thomas. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first. On 2nd down, here's Rodgers. Throw left side, taken in by Hill. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. Rodgers now to throw. Oh, look at Thomas wide open. And he's brought down. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. Rodgers now 11 of 17 passing thus far. He's got his guys a 1st and 10. On 1st down, Rodgers. And this is taken in one-handed. What a catch. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up 2nd down. And before this 2nd down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. And again, it's Rodgers. Throw left side complete. That's Ingram. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Into the red zone. It's Rodgers. And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22. Duke Riley in there to get him. And that's sack number 18 for him on the year.
It's interesting, partner, that most defenses try and guard the 35-yard line actively because they think the way kickers are nowadays, about a 52-yard field goal, they're kind of giving up points. But you get even deeper into territory, you get into the red zone, they're going to guard it even more, which means more pressure, more blitzing.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
He's second in the NFL in interceptions, and you understand why. He plays the game with great intelligence, understands positioning, and has a great ability to break up.
And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line, he's sacked. And now a timeout defensively by the Falcons as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. So now the field goal unit trots out there for the third time tonight. This a 43-yard attempt. And Lutz's kick is good. And that gets him back within a single point. It's now 10-9. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
Atlanta now coming out on the field. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Eluding the pressure right. And he just gets rid of it. Throws it away. A wise move there. Looked like nobody open. Now second down.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of. Otherwise, he was going to get sacked.
On second down, Johnson. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. It's Patrick Robinson there on the stop. Final play of the half. Kaiser looking deep for Julio. And incomplete on the deep ball. And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Now the Falcons offense, they get ready to head back out here. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
Well, there have been a ton of sacks. They were just trying to prevent another.
So what you're telling me is the conventional way has not really worked for them, huh?
Not at all.
Not at all. So he tries to grab him here, and they still get caught.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. From the shotgun, it's Kaiser. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. The linebacker, Demario Davis, got a hand in to break that one up.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, And we see yet another errant throw as a result.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for second down. Play fake. Kaiser. Looking downfield for Jones. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up third.
I know exactly why I tried to throw the ball to Julio Jones there. He's never considered covered. He's either too fast or too strong. You always try and get it to him.
Especially on those deep passes. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Kaiser dancing to his left. Now he's going to let it go deep back over the middle. And it's knocked away and incomplete. The linebacker, Demario Davis, got a hand in to break that one up. Well, pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides, where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
A good return there, 17 yards. And the Saints will have a short field in front of them. They take over here, 1st and 10. A good starting spot for the Saints as they come up 1st and 10. Rodgers now on 1st down. He throws and he hits the slant route to Thomas. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. This is Ingram on 1st and 10. And he's over midfield and into Falcon territory. Vic Beasley able to make the tackle.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
And Gibbs got it. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Press coverage on the outside, and for defenders, that's the ultimate risk-reward. If you take the risk, can you reward yourself by keeping them on the line of scrimmage? But no, not on that one. Got the step on him. Now it's just a matter of laying the ball out there for him to go get it.
On the counter, Ingram. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
That's complete right around the 8. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Now Rodgers. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
When you got your backs in the shadow of your goal line, you've got to be physical in that situation because there's not a whole lot of space, not a lot of wild plays that can be run there.
That's put up or shut up time. Defensively, nice job just to make sure they didn't complete it on that play. And he's got it. Touchdown, Saints. Traquan Smith with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Saints are able to cash in for 6.
And that touchdown ends a streak, for lack of a better word, of 3 field goals that they put on the board previously. They finally cracked the code.
Yeah, they've been down there. They've been in enemy territory, as you said. They just haven't been able to punch it in until that point. And the formula there on the 2-point try, they go 5 wide. Not even the option to hand the ball off. They got it.
They tried to create space, and there isn't a whole lot of it there. For the defense, what you're trying to do is make sure that if they're going to catch the ball, make them catch it behind you because they run out of space with the back line. But in this case, the offense figured it out.
Atlanta now coming out on the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now.
He's got it at the 15. Touchdown, Falcons. Calvin Ridley, 77 yards. And the Falcons are an extra point away from tying the football game. You know, the man on our cover, John Madden, so synonymous with these Thanksgiving Day games. He was on TV for these from, I think, 81 to 01, giving out the Turkey Leg Award and turducken he always talked about. Special when you got a guy going off like this. I think he would be a good recipient of the Turkey Leg Award.
Well, he's definitely already worked on that leg. Is it possible he could end up getting the whole turkey?
Yeah, give him a thigh,
or the
too.
whole turducken. And it's really great that you mentioned Coach Madden, because everyone knows him from this. Everyone knows him from the broadcast booth. Remember, he won a Super Bowl as a head coach in Oakland.
Yep, he did indeed. But right now, we are watching maybe one of those turkey leg performances with his second touchdown there. They'll try to get the ground game going with Ingram. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop it behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Now Rodgers throwing on second down. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. He couldn't get the hook up there that time with Thomas, and it's third down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. Throwing is Rodgers on third down. He finds Coleman. And they'll get it all the way out near midfield to the 45. The 21 yards there as they convert on third.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
From midfield, here's Rodgers. And it's hauled in by Ben Watson. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
But when you hit him on the move like that, he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 11 more on that one, and another first down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
Rodgers now on first down. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Another carry for the workhorse tonight, Ingram. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. He only got a couple on that one, so not a ton of help. They'll have a 3rd and 8 forthcoming.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally because otherwise...
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Michael Thomas with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Saints have moved out in front.
All drives that result in points hurt a defense. But when they are the sustained variety, play after play, and they just can't get off the field and stop them, that can be demoralizing.
That time, a 9-play drive, and it all culminates in a Saints touchdown. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. On the return, here's Justin Hardy. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Out comes Calvin Ridley and the offense for their next drive. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people.
And that's caught inside the 35. And he takes it all the way down to the 32. It's a big play there for Atlanta. And even 40 yards. They go play action here on first down. Looking deep for Julio. And he's got his star receiver. It's Jones for the Falcon touchdown. Julio Jones, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Falcons are an extra point away from tying the football game. Bryant's extra point up and good. And that will tie us at 24. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Now we'll see what Michael Thomas and the rest of the offense has in store here. Pretty good game for him so far. I guess he's still got time here to make this a great game, but so far he's been solid.
I like where you're going with that because it has been pretty good, but there's always that hint that things can really escalate for him. And right now they feel like they're somewhat keeping him in check, but he has found the end zone once. But, boy, he can explode at any moment.
Yeah, and when you hit that end zone once, you want to find it again, don't you?
Yes, you do.
Makes you hungrier.
You get greedy in a good way. Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route, the drag, and being able to run away from defenders. Hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone, and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone. Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
They'll try to run for the first with Ingram. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
Give them a lot of credit. They ended up running the ball on a key third down situation. They were staring 3 and out in the face and found a way to flip the script and keep the ball moving on offense.
A handoff. It's Mark Ingram. And good penetration here. He'll get this down only to about the 49-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Now a handoff to Ingram. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12. They fake the give. Now Rodgers. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Justin Reed. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur
once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran the wrong pattern. Maybe some balls.
And that's caught inside the 35. And he'll be down deep into New Orleans territory. It's a big play there for Atlanta. Back now here live in New Orleans. All even as we get ready to start the fourth. Both teams working on short rest, but this has been one of the better Thursday night games we've seen as they come up here on 1st and 10. From the red zone now, Kaiser. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. It'll be a gain of 6, and it's a second down.
Now, that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
They pitch it out to Johnson. They give him about 4 on the play, but he's marked short, so it'll be 3rd and about the length of the football.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. They're looking at 3rd in the nose of the football. They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down. Have to kick this field goal, don't you?
No question about it. Look at the clock. Look at the situation. Kick the field goal.
And Bryant's kick is good. And with that, they will move out in front by 3. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it. In the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
The Saints offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And we have seen a lot on the scoreboard here in this quarter. So sometimes you talk to me about tendency breakers on offense. These defenses struggling. Are there tendency breakers on defense?
All defensive coordinators keep something in their hip pocket for these types of situations. What can we do to slow down the onslaught? But the biggest thing is making sure these guys encourage each other, pick themselves up, because right now it's been a really tough ball game trying to stop these offenses.
And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. Duke Riley in there for the sack, and he's closing in on that all-time record. That's number 19 on the year.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
It's brought in right side by Ginn. And he goes out of bounds across the 40-yard line. That catch puts him over 70 yards receiving now as he's got a first down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal.
And Rodgers is going to go down. He's sacked. Duke Riley in there for the sack, and he's closing in on that all-time record. That's number 19 on the year.
My man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour? And the pressure gets to him again.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
319!
On 3rd and long, it's Rodgers. He dumps it down to Ingram. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. Give him 9 on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. Getting set to go again on offense. We get a peek at Julio Jones now. Let's see here, Charles. 6 catches, over 100 yards. Call that a pretty good day at the office.
And I love the accumulation. The catches, the yardage. That means he's having a pretty good impact on this ball game and really helping his team out in a big way.
Means he wants the football again, right?
And it's funny because some of these receivers are very vocal about how much they're getting it. Others are quieter, but they still let you know, give me the ball, I'm going to make a play.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that is caught one-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. And he'll be down deep into New Orleans territory. It's a big play there for Atlanta. 61 yards. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. And now he'll tuck it and run. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Second down, Kaiser. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. The 6 yards on the pickup, and it leaves him with a 1st and goal.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
They come out here in the eye. They'll try and run. This is Johnson. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3.
This is where coaches have to have spent a lot of time going over situations with their players because him getting tackled there is not the worst thing in the world. You're going to run more plays, right? Clock's going to go. But his thought process is getting into the end zone. It's counterintuitive for him to actually go down in this spot.
Yeah, but like you say, you don't want to get in the end zone. And he will take it in for a Falcon touchdown. David Johnson with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Falcons will add on to their lead.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you've got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now we'll see what Michael Thomas and the rest of the offense has in store here. All right, so let's look at these numbers. I don't want to read the tea leaves here too much, but maybe he's in his own head a little bit after that hot start and the cool-off.
Sometimes that happens, and this is where you get tested as a player in this league if you truly want to be an impact player or a star, because that's what they're going to face each and every game. Extra coverage, extra people. So now, do you fight through it? Do you find other ways? Or do you allow it to affect you to the point where you're no longer an impact on the game?
319!
On second down, here's Rodgers. Throwing the out route, incomplete. It's Hill. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. 7 catches for him now, and this last one, a 1st down. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
A gain of 3, second down. Early on in the broadcast, you talked about how he was one of 9 guys to go over 1,000 last year and that they needed to keep him under 100. He's well under 100.
And how about in our pregame meetings when we talked with them, they said that was going to be one of the top priorities for them in this one.
And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. He went over 100 yards in the wild card round. He's over 100 here as well. And a 1st down. And they'll try to squeeze in one more play here before the 2-minute warning. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Throwing on first down is Rodgers. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. It's Desmond Trufant, and a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the second week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. And they're throwing here. Kaiser. This one caught by Ridley. And they'll get him down up past the 15, just shy of the 20. And the Saints signal for another timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. Now Kaiser. He'll buy some time right. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. Here's Kaiser. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. Kaiser. And he'll find QT on the right side complete. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. A very solid gain of 27. Kaiser to throw. Out to his left. Now he'll let it go on the run. Deep left side. So they took a shot on first down but couldn't connect.
Well, the obvious goal is to try and score a touchdown, but at the least, adding to a pretty big yardage total for his intended receiver there, huh?
Yeah, well, when you got a guy over 150 yards, keep chucking it deep to him, I guess.
Yeah, no doubt about it. You can get it to him short, and he can make plays that way, but I like what you just said.
And he's got it. What a catch on the sideline. That one goes for 36 yards. Well, we haven't been shortchanged on offense. Another fun play to watch there on the deep pass.
This game has the feel of, what, a turkey bowl, a Thanksgiving day. You know, when we get together this year and the Davises and the Gardens get together, that's what our playbook's going to look like they're drawing them up in the dirt, and so far it's working for both of them.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
Let's give this defense some credit now. They let the guys get downfield, but when push came to shove, they stood their ground. Now they'll likely force a field goal attempt.
And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. Justin Houston in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year. Off the play fake, Kaiser. Flush to his right. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Third down is the down. Both sides know they absolutely have to win. And the name of the game for the defense is pressure on the quarterback. But pressure on the quarterback with contact, that's how you end up winning it.
Kaiser to throw for it on fourth. Looking downfield for Jones. And no, it's incomplete. Dan Quinn's guys unable to come through there on fourth down. And the Saints will have the football back. So the defense asked to stay out and get one more stop. They were able to do it, forcing the incompletion.
So on their record, that goes down as a successful play. Doesn't matter how they got there, how it happened. They got it done. They're the ones that are jubilant.
Rodgers to throw. And Hill with it over the middle. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. The Saints in the hurry up here. Clock continuing to roll. And they're down to 17 seconds now here after the spike. And incomplete here. So that will leave them with 16 on the clock. Now Rodgers. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked up by Justin Reed, and they will take over at the 26-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
And this will get inside the 20 and be touchdown just outside of the 15-yard line. One final try for Rodgers. We've seen this before. And that will be incomplete, as time has run out on this football game. Charles, we saw a lot of points go up in this one. Certainly defensively,